Hi, welcome back to my Masquerade. My name's Para, your host, and welcome to Cemetary Mary. Look, I finally got around to recording it. I know. I'm so excited too. I mean, maybe it's only me. But I heard that Sunny from Trick or Treat, there was a comment somewhere on Trick or Treat that said that Sunny was one of the side characters in Cemetary Mary. So we get to see Sunny again here, which is, I'm super excited about that. I hope you guys are too. So let's begin. This is where it all started. Warning. This game contains themes and depictions of the following: stalking, kidnapping, strong language, mild drugs, alcohol, and smoking, blood, murder, suicide, flashing images, and potentially loud noises. Discretion is advised. Wow. You hear that, guys? This is definitely going to be a roller coaster. I don't think any other arcade game was all like, careful, it has all these things that you really don't want. The only thing that's missing here is sexual things, but thank goodness it's not, because I get really uncomfortable around them. Alright, let's begin. I've never been to a funeral that I didn't enjoy. That is, until very recently. And I wasn't quite sure how to feel. It was a beautiful service, and one they certainly deserved. If only it had come later in their lifetime, and maybe it could have been prevented. If there wasn't a murder in my city. That's what everyone's been saying anyways. The Black Wood Butcher. That's what they called him, at least. It was hard not to overhear the rumors people said about them. I hear they strike at night. I hear they only target one person at a time, and don't stop until they're dead. I hear it's a ghost, blindly seeking revenge. I didn't believe in any of that. At least, not at first. But my parents did. And because of that, they didn't like me going off to the cemetery alone. Staying until it closed. Walking home by myself in the dark. Even though it was only across the street, these rumors had made them afraid for my safety. Do you really believe they're real? I asked my father. I do, he answered. Are you really worried for me? My mother did not say anything, but that is to be expected. They thought I was a perfect target, but I still don't believe in it. Still, they were worried about me, so they sent me off to live with my aunt, uncle, and cousin. They didn't live far. At least not anymore. They moved from their fancy home in gorgeous Haliciny to the small little cabin in the woods. I never understood why, but I never really asked about it either. My parents felt I would be safer with them. I didn't want to leave, but every day I stayed only seemed to stress them out more. So I went, to make them feel better. For the first few weeks, everything was fine. I barely left the house, barely went to town anymore, and when I did, I was always with someone. Taking all precautions to avoid becoming a victim of the butcher. But I still thought it was only a rumor. Even if the number of deaths in our community increased, I never thought that I or someone I knew would be a victim. Then, that thing happened. To those two. And for the first time I was worried. Your parents? Shortly after that, my own parents disappeared. Oh no. They weren't in the diner. Nor could I contact them. Even the authorities couldn't figure it out. No one had seen them. It was as if they suddenly vanished. As if they were killed off. I don't like to think about that possibility. Actually, well, there was also that other thing that happened. Maybe I should have told the authorities about it. Or anyone, for that matter. But I was too afraid of what might happen if I did. Your parents are safe. Hello. Freaking Undertale vibes, bro. With the little animated text boxes. Did the other games have that? I don't think so. I think they were all just words. I knew I would fall asleep if I sat down. Is it raining outside? It wasn't supposed to rain today. The light's on outside. Is Croven out there? I better go check. Croven. Ah, your cousin. What are you doing out here? It's raining. I can see that it's raining, Mary. Okay. I'm not gonna ask about aunt and uncle because he doesn't look like the type of kid who cares about his aunt and uncle. Croven, I finished dinner. Come inside. It's spaghetti. I used your favorite sauce too. Okay, be inside in a second. Just let me put this out. He's not as rude as I thought he'd be. He looks ruder. He looks ruder, but secretly a sweetheart. Like Nico D'Angelo, if anyone actually gets that reference. Oh, the food is cold. Someone brought a problem with you before. I made too much. I think those are both lies. I know. I fell asleep after I made it, so... I just wanted to take a seat in the living room, but... It's fine. I'm not complaining. Other than that, we didn't say much, and dinner was quiet. I cleaned up most of it, but Croven helped a little bit. After that, he went to go sit in the living room. Once I finished cleaning the kitchen up, I joined him, like usual. Normally after dinner, when Croven and I sit here together, we do something fun. We play a game on our phones together, or we get out a board game, or we play cards. Talk about our days if something exciting happened. But that's when Aunt and Uncle were still... Croven's been in a pretty bad mood since. It's not as if I can blame him. I want to talk to him, but I don't really know if he's much in the mood to talk. What should I do? Let's attempt conversation. Let's let him open up. Crow? Do you want to talk about it? There's nothing to talk about. I still got my own therapist's number, you know? Croven? Ain't there a reason she was your old one? I know. But she was good at this kind of stuff. And I've been thinking that maybe... Shut up, Mary. Just shut up already. Can I be bitter over it? Why are you trying so hard to rush me into therapy, huh? Thought you knew about this shit better than anyone, but here you are. I'm not gonna stop being upset just because you miss me being all happy, smiling and shit. Gosh, you sure to say shit a lot. Can't you just stop trying to freaking talk to me about it? I'll get over it when I get over it. Maybe get your own life, and then you'll stop worrying so much over mine. Sorry. I think I ended up making Craven more agitated trying to talk to him. Oh well. No! I wanted him to be happier! After a few more moments of awkward sitting, I went upstairs and headed to my bedroom. I didn't want to make Croven angrier than I had already. I heard that there was like 3 endings to this game, right? Like a bad ending... Or was it 2 bad endings and 1 good ending? I don't remember, but this series is going to take us a long time to finish. I mean... We have to go through, like, I think it's like 2.5 hours or something of, like, pure gameplay. Jeez Louise, am I right, guys? Alright. I brushed my teeth and got changed into my pajamas. I stretched out on what you would consider my bed. The room I have in the cabin is nice. It's not like my room back in my actual home, but I've stayed here for so long, I've been able to decorate it a bit more to my liking. It's a pleasant room to stay in, even if it's not quite home. Of course, I don't normally sleep right away. I usually read a book or watch a movie on my laptop or lie awake thinking of every embarrassing thing that happened in my life. But as of recent, I've picked up a different nighttime ritual. One that's nowhere near as pleasant. The text message I had received the days following my parents' disappearance. It was from a number I didn't recognize. I know I should have done something smart. I should have told someone. But instead, I texted the number back, and they responded to me. I've noticed that other than the first message, they usually don't reach out to me. It's me who keeps texting back, hoping to find out what's happening behind all this. Are you still awake? I'm awake whenever you want to talk. Probably won't tell me who you are, but I'll ask anyone. Will you tell me who you are? That I cannot do. My identity must remain hidden. Forever? No, not forever. Then why can't you just tell me who this is? Because it's not safe. Why wouldn't it be safe? You have to trust me on that. I don't trust you at all. How did you even get my number? Your parents gave it to me. Why would they do that? Because they care about you. You must be lying to me. My parents wouldn't do something like that. I'm sorry. You don't know your parents as well as you think you do. What does that mean? Seriously, you freak me out. I just want my parents back. Please, don't drag this out. I just want them back home. You should get some rest. It's late, isn't it? I'll talk to you tomorrow. I don't like to text for too long. Until then, goodbye. Goodbye. This suggests that I get some rest. But how do you expect me to do that? I had never felt more restless in my life. Even asleep. I knew I wouldn't rest. What the hell is happening? When I woke up the next morning, Croven had already left for the day. But that wasn't a surprise. He'd been staying out late and leaving super early ever since the incident. I think being home bothers him. I'm not surprised. Whenever I pass the diner, I too feel like not being there. It's not the same without Mom and Dad after all. Despite this cabin being out in the middle of the woods, it really isn't all that hard to get back to Blackwood. Outside of our cabin is a faint dirt trail. It gets a bit twisty at some parts, but it isn't too confusing. It takes about 15 minutes to walk down, but maybe 10 if you're fast. At the end of the trail, there's a fence, one with a slight gap in it, and past that fence, there's a little community. It isn't big. A few trailers with a few people living all the way out here, far from anything that's, well, anything. But there's a road here, and a bus that comes through. It runs through Blackwood, so whenever we need to leave, we take this bus. Okay. Why? So aunt and uncle are dead, right? What happened to those two? And then what happened to my parents is probably the aunt, uncle, and then mom and dad. Oh no, I didn't read that. You're in Blackwood! It's the city I grew up in. Wait, can I go back? No, I can't. Okay, wait, history. We take the bus, and then after the end of a short trip, you're in Blackwood! It's the city I grew up in. And I always really loved it. There's the library and the local stores, but my most favorite place to be is the Blackwood Cemetery. Ah yes, the Cemetary Mary, of course it is. It's got lots of trees to read under, and the prettiest headstones I've ever seen. There's a mausoleum too. Though, I've never been inside. Private mausoleum, you know. I don't know who it belongs to. Anyways, I always try to leave flowers when I visit, at least every so often. And I visit a lot. I like to think it helps them, you know, not feel lonely. And then, after having spent my day in Blackwood, I come back home the same way I left. But I always make sure that no one sees the way I come back home, just in case, you know? Yeah, totally. Despite the recent events, I too leave the cabin more than ever now. Croven is rarely home, and I don't like being here alone. I know I'm just being paranoid, but I don't like the thought that maybe Butcher could find me out here all alone. Even if that's the whole reason I'm here in the first place, so I go out a lot now. I feel more comfortable, surrounded by lots of people. Despite how things may seem, I always pretend to be around people anyway. That's one reason why I like to go to the cemetery so often. There's always people there, even if you can't see them. Yeah, 6 feet under, you mean? After I got out of bed, I made myself a small breakfast and got changed into my favorite outfit. Croven's gone, and the bus I take out into town should be arriving any minute now. Where should I go today? You know what? Let's go to the library. I like libraries. I decided to go to the library. There's nothing quite like a good book. My favorite kinds of books are mysteries. Not necessarily murder mysteries, but mysteries in general. In fact, I kind of prefer it when the mysteries don't involve anyone dying. There's a lot less tension there, you know? But maybe I'm just too soft. I also quite enjoy Magna. Ah, yes! My people! She gets exactly the same books I get. Well, not really. I kind of like a lot of adventure minds. Mystery, but like, if any of you have read Blackthorn, you know what I mean. Master kind of dies. So sad. Spoiler, by the way. Especially the shojo kind. You know, a little bit of Naruto, a little bit of One Piece here and there. I feel almost embarrassed to like them, but I find that they're cute and nice. And I like seeing characters fall in love. Yeah, a shoujo. Maybe that's what I'll try to find at the library today. I stepped into the library and began to make my way over to my favorite spot. A tucked away corner in the library, right by a single window. Sometimes I'd spend an entire day in that corner just reading. I've even managed to finish entire books without leaving the library. I look forward to doing something like that again today, but when I get to my favorite spot, I notice a man was already sitting there. I was surprised because usually this library is pretty empty. But this man, he's familiar. I've met him before. Oh, my apologies. Did I take your seat? Oh, it's you. Mary. Mary, enter. Yes? Yes, that's right. I remember you. From the funeral, right? Indeed. Do you remember my name? Reginald? That's right. It's a pleasure to see you here. I was hoping I'd run into you again one day. Oh? Aha! I hope that doesn't come off weird. You were just such a pleasant person to be around. You really brought life to the funeral. Oh, really? Thank you, I think? So what brings you here to the library today? Oh, well, I don't really have plans, so I thought I'd just check out a book or something. Likewise. What kind of book were you interested in checking out? Just be honest, man. I freaking showed you. I got myself some Magna. I'm actually here to look for a Shoujo Magna? Shoujo Manga? What's that? It's like the best thing ever created. Do you know what Magna is? I have an idea, but I can't say I've ever read one myself. Well, it's like one of those. But it's usually centers around the romance between the two main characters. And sometimes there's like friends or rivals. Wait, really? Am I in the wrong? Wait, am I thinking of an? Is she not talking about the company that published Naruto and One Piece and all that stuff? Is she talking about like a genre of Magna? I feel so embarrassed now. I can't remember. It was so long since I checked out Magna, okay? I only watch anime now. I don't have time for Magna. Mostly because the library I go to doesn't even have a lot of Magna. Actually, I haven't seen a Magna section. No, I have. No, they're all pretty bad. And sometimes there's like friends or rivals. But I really like the comedy ones. Because you get cute jokes mixed into the romance. But sometimes the drama ones are really cute too. And they can get really intense. And, sorry, I'm rambling. I'm not good at explaining things. No worries. I think you did a good job. A shoujo sounds interesting. Perhaps I'll check one out myself later. I'm trying to be more open to new things after all. Anyways, what are you here to read? Me? I'm reading Manslaughter on the Disoriented Locomotive. Oh, I've been meaning to read that one too. Do you want it then? What? Oh, no. That's okay. Please, take your time. Just, if you wouldn't mind, would you tell me when you're done with it? You know, so I could maybe read it later? I'm fine with that. Though I've already gotten pretty far in, and I don't think I'll be finished by today. You have a cell phone, yes? Would it be alright if I have your number? That way I can notify you as soon as I'm finished. And well, I'd like to try to be friends too, if that's alright. Oh, really? I mean, yeah, of course. Reginald and I exchanged phone numbers. Thank goodness, he's my friend now. Okay. I was shocked that he even remembered me. But I'd consider meeting him again a pleasant surprise, and one I'd really appreciate. After our exchange, I picked out a shoujo book from one of the shelves and began to read in one of the other spots in the library. I ended up liking it so much, I looked for the other books and brought 2 or 3 home with me to read later. After I came home, had dinner, and cleaned up the kitchen up, I began my usual nighttime routine. I got changed into pajamas, brushed my teeth, sat on the bed, and texted whoever they are. Hi. It's me again. Are you there?
Yes.
You're still not going to tell me anything, are you?
No.
Can I ask you something? Even if you won't give me an honest answer anyways?
Okay.
Are you the Blackwood Butcher?
Would I tell you if I was? Are you afraid for their safety?
Of course! Why wouldn't I be?
I see.
Okay, I just wanted to point out, in the library, did you guys notice the little chicken in the shelves when she was talking to Reginald? It's the same chicken that shows up in the other games. Should I be afraid for my own safety? Why do you have them? I feel like if the first one doesn't really make any sense because it's not asking, like, they're not asking for, like, any, like, exchange. They're not being all like, oh, if you don't do this, I won't give them back. It's just, like, Like, if they wanted to have me dead, they'd kill me. That's what I'm trying to say. So why do you have them?
I wouldn't put it like that. I don't own them, after all. Even if they're in my keeping for now.
You're way too vague. Why'd you even contact me to begin with?
I thought you'd like to know about your parents. I'm only trying my best to keep you happy.
You think I'm happy?
Maybe not now, but you will be. I have to go now. Goodbye.
Goodbye. After another frustrating and unsettling night of text messages, I got under the covers and tried my best to sleep. It wasn't easy, and I had a lot of difficulty trying. I don't remember exactly when, but eventually I was able to sleep, even if not peacefully. Dad? Yes, sweetheart? Yes? Is something wrong? Mama told me that Uncle Ray died. Did she now? Are we going to see him? No. You don't need to worry about that. I don't? But... Listen, Mary. Normally when someone passes, you hold a funeral for them, right? Yeah. The thing about funerals, though, is that they're for people who are worth remembering. Oh, shoot. After I got out of bed, I made myself a small breakfast and got changed into my favorite outfit. Coven's gone, and the bus I take out into town should be arriving any minute now. Where should I go today? Well, I already went to the library. Is the picture in the background getting lighter? Okay, I would continue, but I think if I pick somewhere else, like the cafe or something, if I go back to the library, you think Reginald will be done with the book? I don't know. But I'm going to end it now because if I go somewhere else, then it's going to take me a while for me to end that day again. So let's just keep this day here. I'm really interested to what's going on. Just like the other games, it sort of just like throws you into these situations and expects you to figure it out because you don't know what's happening. I mean, it's like it's not me, it's my basement, you know? Like Crowscare was kind of like, it told you what was happening. It was like, oh, a festival's coming into town and we're going to have all these things. But it's not me, it's my basement. It sort of just happened. It just like, Embry just woke up and they were all like, yep, let's just get breakfast ready. And the next thing you know, you figured out she has a demon in her house, which is probably all psychological. But this one is exactly like that. You know, like you don't know what's going on. So I can't wait to figure out what's going on. I assume the aunt and uncle died. I assume Croven's mourning for them. My parents have been taken by a text message. I mean, it makes no sense that she's going through life normally, but I mean, I think I like where this is going. Definitely gives me a lot of like Undertale vibes. All the little voice box sounds and all that. What's it called? Like text noise? Character blip volume. Yeah, like that. It's definitely very cute. I totally enjoy that. The other games didn't have that, right? Like Crowscare, It's Not Me, It's My Basement, Trick or Treat. They didn't have all that. Maybe Arcadekitten didn't like it. Maybe they want to be original. I don't know. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming to today's Masquerade. I upload every Friday, so if you want to see more gameplay videos, don't forget to subscribe to get an invitation to my next Masquerade, and click the like button to get this video to other people and to support me, your host, Para. Bye!